Do you ever feel like you're constantly tight? Your neck is tight. Your shoulders are tight. Your hips are tight. Your back is tight. Maybe you stretch every day. Maybe you even get massages. Maybe you've tried yoga, foam rolling, chiropractic care, body work, or physical therapy. And yet, the tension keeps coming back. If that sounds familiar, I want to offer you a totally different perspective. What if your body isn't holding tension because it forgot how to relax? What if your body is holding tension because it simply doesn't feel safe enough to let that tension go? Today, I want to talk about the real reason the body develops chronic tension and why understanding this can completely change how you approach your own healing. Hi, I'm Dr. Jodi Medell, the founder of the Healing Continuum and the Healing Continuum method. I'm an integrative functional medicine practitioner with a doctorate in physical therapy, and I've been a clinician for over 30 years. My goal is to help people understand healing through the interconnected relationship between structure, physiology, and the nervous system, because symptoms are rarely random, and chronic tension is one of the clearest examples of that. So first, let's go over why tension is not always a muscle problem. When most people feel tightness, they assume the muscle itself is the problem. And sometimes that is true. But often, what we experience as tightness is actually the nervous system creating a protective tension in the body. The body is constantly making decisions about stability and safety. If the nervous system perceives instability, vulnerability, threat, or overload, it will often increase muscular tension as a protective strategy. The tension isn't necessarily the problem. The tension may actually be the solution your body has chosen to feel safe. Please remember, your body is always protecting you. One of the most important things I've learned in my clinical work is that the body is incredibly intelligent. It's always adapting, it's always compensating, and it's always trying to keep you functioning at the best level it can. When the body senses danger, however, whether that danger is physical, chemical, emotional, or physiological, it often creates protective strategies. Sometimes the protection looks like guarding. Other times it looks like bracing, holding, restrictive motion, creating stiffness, increasing muscle tone. The body isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying really hard to protect you. Let's start with a simple example: physical protection. If you sprain your ankle, the muscles around that joint naturally tighten. Why? Protection. The body is trying to stabilize an injured area. Most people get this. But the same principles can occur throughout the entire body. If we look at old injuries, joint instability, poor movement patterns, loss of mobility, weakness, compensation, all of these can contribute to that chronic tension pattern. Let's also look at physiology. Physiological stress creates physical tension as well. And this is where things become a little more interesting. The body doesn't necessarily distinguish between physical stress and physiological stress. So, poor sleep, blood sugar instability, inflammation, hormonal changes, chronic fatigue, oxidative stress, these all place stress on the system. And when the body perceives stress, protective tension increases. And this is one of the many reasons women notice increased neck tension, jaw tension, shoulder tension, headaches, and muscle tightness during periods of hormonal change or life stress. And let's not skip out on the nervous system connection. This brings us to what I believe is one of the most overlooked pieces: the nervous system. The nervous system controls muscle tone. If the nervous system is constantly scanning for danger, muscle tone often increases. The body becomes prepared, it's ready, it's alert, it's protective. And many people live in this state for years without even realizing it. The body really never fully receives that signal that it's safe to relax. So then we get hypervigilance in the body. And sometimes people think hypervigilance only occurs in the mind, but hypervigilance shows up in the body as well. The shoulders elevate, the jaw tightens, the breathing becomes shallow. We do upper respiratory breathing versus breathing diaphragmically. The pelvis stiffens. The diaphragm itself loses mobility. The body is literally preparing for a threat that may actually not even exist. But over time, those protective patterns become super familiar. In fact, eventually, they actually feel normal. So this is why sometimes stretching really doesn't work. And people become super frustrated. They stretch, the tension temporarily gets better, but then it returns. Because stretching only addresses the muscle. But often it does not address the reason the nervous system is actually creating the tension in the first place. The body is simply reestablishing, after you get done stretching, the protective pattern it believes it needs. Until the underlying driver changes, the tension often returns. Okay, another piece I don't want to forget, fascia. Fascia also has a role in this, so we need to talk about it. Fascia is the connective tissue that surrounds and connects everything in the body. It helps distribute force. It transmits movement. It creates stability. And it communicates information throughout the entire system. When tension patterns become chronic, fascia often adapts around those patterns. Over time, the body literally organizes itself around repeated protective strategies. So this is one of the reasons tension can begin affecting movement, posture, breathing, and even pain. So what is it, if stretching isn't working, that the body may really need? So this is why I rarely ask, how do we get rid of tension? Instead, I ask, why is the body even creating the tension in the first place? What does it need? Does it need more stability, better movement, improved sleep, hormonal support, blood sugar regulation, nervous system regulation, reduced inflammation, emotional processing, recovery, safety? Because when the body no longer needs that protection, the tension often begins changing naturally and on its own. So this is exactly why I created the Healing Continuum and the Healing Continuum method, because it focuses on 3 foundations: structure, physiology, and the nervous system. Because tension rarely belongs only to one system. The body is always communicating, that's an important word, communicating across all 3. And healing often begins when we stop fighting the body's adaptations and start becoming curious about them. Again, the body is always communicating with us, trying to keep us safe. So, if you've been dealing with chronic tension, I want you to consider asking a totally different question. Instead of asking yourself, how do I make this tension go away? Please ask yourself, ask your body, why is my body trying to protect me? What is it trying to protect me from? That single question alone can completely change the way you approach your healing. Because your body is not working against you. It's working for you, even when the strategy is no longer serving you. If this video resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. Each week I share videos on nervous system healing, midlife physiology, chronic pain, fascia, hormones, and the Healing Continuum method to health. And if you know someone who's constantly stretching but never seems to feel better, share this video with them. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.